Now, at 6, the wet weather still hitting the North Coast. How much longer will it last? Our first alert meteorologist will break it down. Plus, it's a fish crisis. A local tribe seeking assistance after the Chinook salmon outlook is extremely grim. And Sasquatch hunters are in the neighborhood and just in time for a Yeti-related festival. We'll have the details. North Coast News at 6 starts now.
Live from our studio in downtown Eureka, you're watching North Coast News on Kaef ABC 23. At 6, get the facts right.
Gray skies and rain on and off throughout the day. This as we prepare for more wet weather. Good evening. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm Nazi Javid. Scott Rates is off tonight. Well, it's almost May and we've certainly seen those April showers. Rob, now we're looking at more wet weather. Is that right?
And the setup that we're seeing as we head through tonight and into your Wednesday, we've got a big high off to the west and southwest, but a pretty strong low pressure system closer to the Gulf of Alaska. And that's helping to funnel this Pacific moisture right into Northern California. This is our typical atmospheric river. Not a really strong cold front to go with this, but still expecting quite a bit of rainfall all the way through your Wednesday afternoon. And I'll let this run all the way through this upcoming Wednesday evening, so about 24 hours from now. And you'll notice Precision Cast putting down about 3/4 of an inch of rain for the Eureka area. Higher totals for Del Norte County. We will see some locally high rainfall totals as you head up into the mountains. So again, we're not done with all the heavy rain just yet, but expect some bigger changes as we head into Thursday and Friday as that high we were just looking at on the satellite starts to slowly build into Northern California.
The Yurok Council going before the Del Norte Board of Supervisors today asking for help just weeks after the tribe announced a major disaster. Tribal members saying that it's expecting one of the most catastrophic fisheries collapses in the history of the Klamath River. The tribe says the number of fall Chinook salmon predicted to return to the river this year is the lowest it's ever been. They say it's because of disease outbreaks in young fish, among other factors.
It is going to affect our culture and business really drastic, and there's not going to be any money for the families, and that's really going to affect us. I hope they send in a letter of support for disaster relief.
With the record low 11,000 Chinook predicted to return to the Klamath this year, the tribe's 2017 allocation, which is set by the Pacific Fisheries Management Council, is only 650 fish. That's only one fish for every 10 tribal members. The bleak forecast expected to bring real consequences for the Yurok people. In Southern California, a high-speed police pursuit in Los Angeles today ended with the driver being shot and killed. Kara Finstrom reports.
A nearly 1 hour high-speed chase through numerous cities ended here with a driver trapped on a dead-end street. That man then flipped the car around and in a last-ditch effort to escape, drove straight at police.
I woke up hearing some gunshots. My dad calls me over. And then from our backyard, we could see the 2 assailants in the car.
I don't have details on how many shots were fired, but I can say that multiple officers fired.
Sergeant Brian Johnson says police then moved in around the car and a passenger crawled out unhurt. He was taken into custody. That's when officers pulled out the driver, who died. Investigators tell us the chase started just before 6 this morning in Long Beach when police got a hit from a LoJack security system. Officers say they tried to stop the man driving the stolen Honda, but he took off. You see him here on the 605 zooming across lanes and avoiding this crash by mere inches. Once the car hit the 91, the driver dove all the way from the carpool lane to the far right shoulder, and on the 105, he sped past a Metrolink train.
And at one point, a handgun was thrown out of the vehicle. That handgun has been secured.
Once the driver got off the freeway in Bellflower, it was one near miss after another. Pedro Velasquez was about to go on his walk when he saw the TV reports.
Pretty scary, because I live down here, you know.
And take a look. The driver and police car after police car crossed paths with our Mobile 2 camera. Now police are looking into why the two men led them on the chase that frightened neighbors.
Called my daughters and they're like, yeah, helicopters, speeding car, lots of cops.
And only ended after officers had shot and killed one of them.
Our first arriving units encountered a total of 6 vehicles.
Also in Southern California, one person is dead and at least 10 others injured after a crash involving a big rig on the I-5 this morning in Los Angeles. The 6-vehicle collision happened a little before 11 this morning on the south side of the interstate.
Fire officials say the crash caused a fire which was extinguished by 11:30. All lanes were closed in both directions as cleanup efforts were underway. At least 10 people are being treated at hospitals, one of which has died and another who is critically injured. And not only that.
We did also have one dog, which was deceased on scene as part of the accident.
The CHP says one person still possibly unaccounted for as the cause of the crash remains under investigation. And you may not know it looking outside, but warmer weather is on the way, which means motorcyclists are gearing up to hit California's roads. May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and the CHP is working with the California Office of Traffic Safety to work to reduce the amount of motorcycle crashes and to promote safety through education and awareness. Through spring and summer, the number of motorcyclists on the road will increase. So staff say motorcyclists and drivers must use common courtesy while on the road. The CHP says last year, 476 motorcyclists were killed in traffic collisions and more than 14,000 were injured. In 2015, 494 motorcyclists were killed and over 3,500 injured. According to officers, riders can protect themselves by wearing a helmet, using turn signals, avoiding drivers' blind spots, following the rules of the road, and of course, by always riding sober. In Southern California, fears are growing as the search for a missing 5-year-old boy in Pasadena intensifies. He was supposed to be dropped off with his mother, but that never happened. Now his dad is in jail. Tom Waite has the latest.
New photos of missing 5-year-old Aramaz Andresian. Tonight, his father is still locked up, and perhaps locked up with him answers about what happened to his son.
It's more tense, like, man, they haven't found the kid and what's going on.
This man lives next door to Aramaz and his mother. He hasn't seen the child in over a week.
Does somebody have him and is not giving him up?
Aramaz was last seen a week ago Saturday as his mother dropped him off with his father at a local police station. The couple is going through a divorce and share custody. We're told father and son took a trip to Disneyland Thursday, but it's still unclear where and when Aramaz was seen last. Aramaz was supposed to go back with his mother Saturday, but Aramaz Sr. was a no-show. Police would find him passed out in a South Pasadena park. When he woke up, he told detectives he couldn't remember how he got there.
We've interviewed him. He's given us some conflicting statements. He hasn't given us any information that leads us to the whereabouts of the child.
Investigators were back at Aramaz Sr.'s home today searching for more clues. Police canines and officers from multiple agencies are also helping in the search.
Back on the North Coast today, a jury found 2 people guilty of felony first-degree burglary of a home and felony second-degree burglary of a shed. The Humboldt County District Attorney says Francisco and Samantha James were found guilty by a jury of their peers today. There was also a special allegation that the property owner was at home during the robbery. The DA says the conviction stemmed from 2:30 July 24th of last year on 12th Street in Fortuna at around 2:30 in the morning, when the DA says a person returned home, found her house ransacked, and discovered both defendants in her dining room. Multiple stolen items, including the victim's vehicle, were found nearby. Sentencing is scheduled for June 6th. The maximum term for both felony charges is 6 years and 8 months. A government shutdown looms while top GOP members seeming to give mixed messages. Coming up on North Coast News, we'll tell you about the budget and the main presidential Trump talking point that may not be included. And our local senator making strides to help Californians avoid prescription drugs. Now, legislation is in the works to curb the gifts and incentives Big Farm can give medical professionals. The full stories ahead. Plus, gray, rain-filled clouds still overhead tonight. We have one more day of wet weather to get through, and after that, well, First Alert meteorologist Rob Elvington will tell us about the dry days ahead next. Now you can get the coverage of the North Coast in the palm of your hand with the North Coast News TV app. Get daily alerts on what's happening in your community, plus daily and extended forecasts, live radar, severe weather alerts, and more. Download the app for free on any device. We'll be right back.
You're watching North Coast News on Kaef Abc 23.
The name and the tradition, Murray and Sons.
Murphy's Law of nice try. Papa Murphy's Law of nice dinner. Home bake a large taco grande, topped with unique taco ingredients like salsa, refried beans, and seasoned beef or chicken. Just $11. Papa Murphy's.
Just what is it that you want to do?
Well, we want to be free.
Freedom! Be free to watch what you want, where you want. Suddenlink. More power to you.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to brighten up your home with new furniture from Delta Mattress and Sofa Outlet Store. Browse their spacious showrooms filled with beautiful, comfortable, name-brand furniture for every room in your home. In stock and all at everyday low prices. Plenty of free parking and free popcorn for the kids. Financing available OAC at Delta Mattress and Sofa Outlet Store, open 7 days a week at 4th and H Streets in downtown Eureka.
Accurately informing you about the day's weather. Following the storm with the North Coast's most sophisticated weather system, the most experienced team of meteorologists in the area. North Coast News. Severe weather first.
Is your SUV smart enough for California?
It can actually turn it on.
It is if it's a Ford. With the ability to respond to your touch. React to what's behind your vehicle. And lend an extra hand. Ford Escape, Edge, and Explorer. That's California smart. Buy an Escape SE and get $4,000 cash back, or lease one for just $219 a month. Learn more at buyfordnow.com.
Welcome back. We are tracking some soggy conditions throughout the North Coast. This is the Neyland Airport, of course. This is up in the higher elevations above 2,000 feet, but you see the low clouds and the moisture moving throughout the North Coast. And as we take a look at the radar, this animation's over the last few hours, and we are seeing some steady light rain moving in from out of the west and northwest, and that's going to continue to be the case through the rest of this evening and into your Wednesday. But I do expect some rapid clearing about this time tomorrow. So by 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow, we're really going to start to see this system exit with a strong ridge of high pressure building in, and that's going to allow for a warming trend as well as some sunny skies, but also some gusty northerly winds. Look at the southern half of Humboldt County. You see those scattered showers moving in from out of the west and northwest. Looks like some drier weather right now for Crescent City, just getting clipped by some light showers, but we'll continue to see the chance for rain as we head through the rest of this evening again into your Wednesday. Crescent City right now 54 degrees, south winds at 17 miles per hour. We're going to continue to see these southerly winds, but they will quickly shift out of the north and northwest as we head through the next 12 to 18 hours. Visibility right now at 2 miles. How about the Arcata Eureka area? 55 degrees, southeast winds at 8 miles per hour, visibility at 6 miles. So we'll walk you through Precision Cast. This is 7 o'clock this evening. You'll notice the radar filling in on Precision Cast around 11:30 this evening. We're going to continue to see some steady rain through the overnight hours and into your Wednesday morning. And a lot of the rain that we're going to see, it's really going to pile up in the higher elevations as this moisture plume interacts with the higher elevations. But even along the immediate coast, expecting some pretty good rainfall totals over the next 24 hours. As we head through the rest of the morning hours, this is lunchtime tomorrow. And one thing you'll notice on Precision Cast around lunchtime, still seeing widespread steady rain, but you can see the back edge quickly starting to approach the north coast. And then we're just seeing some lingering showers by the late afternoon hours tomorrow. This is 4:30 tomorrow. And we may even see a little bit of sunshine trying to break through before sunset tomorrow evening, but better chances for widespread sunshine as we head into your Thursday. This is Thursday morning. A few lingering clouds, maybe a little bit of cloud buildup in the higher elevations, but mostly sunny skies for your Thursday, but that will come with some breezy northerly winds. Your rain forecast for tomorrow, we're going to see those winds shifting from out of the south to out of the west, and then finally to out of the northwest as we head into tomorrow evening. So we'll call it a westerly wind at 5 to 15 knots. Waves out of the west at 7 feet at a period of 12 seconds. And there's a look at your wind forecast for tomorrow. This is 8:30 tomorrow morning. We're already starting to see those southwesterly winds starting to shift out of the west. And then you'll notice by the middle of the afternoon hours, we're already seeing a north and northwesterly wind developing. The strongest winds still offshore. But as we head into your Thursday, we'll start to see some of those stronger winds move ashore of the north coast. This is 4 p.m. on Thursday afternoon. You can see some of these dark blue arrows indicating sustained winds around 20 miles per hour moving over parts of the north coast, even some stronger winds south of Cape Mendocino, and we're going to continue to see these northerly winds through the day on Friday. So your forecast for tomorrow, expecting highs mostly staying in the upper 50s, but could see a few of the warm spots at Garberville making a run at the mid to upper 60s. If we see some sunshine break out a little bit earlier than expected for tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, that may allow for a few extra spots to make it up into the 60s. Mid-50s tomorrow for Eureka, 54 degrees for Crescent City. And your 7-day forecast for the coast, we got some widespread rain through tomorrow, let's call it the first half of the afternoon, and then we'll start to dry things out. A lot of sunshine in the forecast Thursday all the way through the middle of next week, and we're going to see some of the warmest weather of the year so far throughout parts of the North Coast. Stay with us, more news coming up.
Two become one. Then you're a couple. Think of all you'll share. like snoring. Does your bed do that? The dual adjustability of a Sleep Number bed allows you each to choose the firmness and comfort you want, so every couple can get the best sleep ever. Does your bed do that? For a limited time, find final clearance prices on the CSC bed. Save $600. End Saturday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
For over 40 years, Razor Sharp has the expertise to help with all of your power equipment needs. With a full line of Husqvarna power tools, Razor Sharp can help everyone from the new homeowner to the landscaping professional. Razor Sharp has Husqvarna lawnmowers, chainsaws, and string trimmers to tame your property. And now carrying the largest assortment of professional tree climbing gear in Humboldt County. Need repairs? Razor Sharp has a full-service repair shop to keep you working. Check out Razor Sharp at the corner of 2nd and X Street near Target. Razor Sharp, the Husqvarna professionals.
Want more jackpots? Bigfoot is bringing 2 new floor-wide progressive jackpots to Blue Lake Casino and Hotel. The Junior Bigfoot bonus is up for grabs, ranging from $1,000 to $5,000. The Bigfoot bonus is also back and bigger than ever, starting at $10,000 and guaranteed to hit before $50,000. Any bet at any time could win. More slots, more tables, more jackpots. Welcome to Blue Lake Casino and Hotel.
This portion of the news sponsored by Northwood Chevrolet and Hyundai. Live from our studio in downtown Eureka, you're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23. At 6, get the facts right.
New tonight, Senator Mike McGuire introducing Senate Bill 790 to restrict Big Pharma from giving incentives and/or gifts to medical professionals. Senator McGuire says it's a practice that results in overpriced drugs being prescribed by medical professionals to their patients. In recent years, California has fallen behind, not reintroducing safeguards to limit pharma gifts and incentives. And according to Senator McGuire's office, in 2014, the California physicians received the highest number of gifts and payments from pharmaceutical companies of any state at $1.44 billion. Wow. Growing evidence now suggesting a correlation between gift incentives provided by pharma to medical professionals prescribing brand name drugs, and which are often much more expensive than generic drugs and usually do the same thing. Let's break it down for you. Every year in the U.S., $73 billion is spent on brand name drugs, for which an equivalent generic drug is available and much cheaper. This affects taxpayers because Medicare pays for 1 in every 4 prescriptions in the United States. Studies also show that Big Pharma spends over $20 billion in marketing every year in the United States. A majority of this money spent targeting medical professionals. According to Senator McGuire, SB 790 would give Californians an opportunity to put patient care and drug affordability before corporate profits. New at 6, speaking of patient care and affordability, the Del Norte County supervisors held a heated session today asking the CEO of Sutter Coast to come before the board, demanding that it make hospital pricing openly available to the public.
It is not typical to provide or post that charge master in your emergency room.
It's not right. Not on the backs of poor people here in Del Norte County.
Let's be honest, all right? The CEO of Sutter and all of these other hospitals need to post those prices.
Members of the board and community urging Sutter to be transparent. Sutter CEO saying the pricing is available through an online database. Now, the Board of Supervisors saying that's not good enough. They passed a unanimous resolution today to have a list of pricing posted at the hospital. They want Sutter to go back before the board in 6 months with an update. Meantime, the Supreme Court is not reviewing a lower court's ruling of General Motors liability stemming from a defective ignition switch. The switch in question, mostly in Saturn, Ions, and Chevy Cobalts, would sometimes turn off by itself, cutting power to the car and disabling the airbags. GM has paid out more than $2 billion in penalties, fines, and settlements over the flaw that's killed at least 124 people. GM filed for bankruptcy in 2009, but a lower court ruled the automaker is still liable for bankruptcy claims related to the switch problems. GM argued that bankruptcy usually eliminates past liabilities. The High Court's decision allows claims against GM to continue. As the clock ticks down to Congress's Friday deadline to pass a funding bill to avoid a government shutdown, the White House is sending mixed messages on one of the biggest hurdles to passing that bill. It comes as a busy week intensifies for both President and Congress. With more on what's on tap for today and the rest of this chaotic week, here's Karen Kaef.
With just days left for Congress to pass a funding bill and avoid a government shutdown, the White House sending mixed messages on what could be a major sticking point: funding for Trump's long-promised border wall.
There will be a wall built.
It's delayed for now.
No. No one said delayed. No. There's a there's two budget processes.
Monday night, there were signs the president may be willing to back off the idea of funding for the wall in this particular bill, which skeptical lawmakers on both sides agree would be a smart move.
It would remove the prospect of a needless fight over a poison pill proposal that members of both parties don't support.
I'm for a wall where it makes sense, but a 2,200-mile wall doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's not a big appetite for that.
Tuesday morning, the president took to Twitter to say he's not reversing course. Meanwhile, some White House sources are signaling the president wants some type of funding for the wall this week, but won't shut the government down over it.
We feel very confident the government's not going to shut down.
While the budget battle could be winding down, President Trump is aiming to deliver on another key campaign promise, slashing the corporate tax rate from 35% to 15%. He's expected to unveil details on that plan Wednesday. But some Republicans say that could be dead on arrival if it adds to the national debt.
Oh, look, tax reform is a big subject. Lots of moving parts. We're still discussing the way forward on that.
Still ahead on North Coast News, even if you don't believe in Bigfoot, you can't deny the impact the search has had here on the North Coast. We'll take you squatching after the break. But first, be our eyes and ears in your community when you see breaking news. See it, snap it, share it. Grab your phone, take a picture and some video, and share it with us at news@northcoastnewstv.com or on our Facebook page, North Coast News TV. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23.
Hey everybody, it's Don Hackett again for Humboldt County's Northwood Auto Plaza, located at 7th and D Streets right here in Eureka. At Northwood Auto Plaza, we're fast, we're friendly, and we're fun. And above all, we love to tell people yes. From selecting the vehicle to working out your deal, you'll find everything is very easy here at Northwood. For Chevrolet, Hyundai, or a great selection of used cars, let's make the next yes yours.
Being a family means devotion and togetherness, taking time and caring about each other. Togetherness is especially important during times of sorrow from losing a loved one. Ayers Cremation understands this and does affordable cremations and burials according to your wishes. The local professionals at Ayers truly listen to you and answer all of your questions. Trust Ayers' decades of experience on Jacobs Avenue in Eureka and on the web at ayerscremation.com.
People talk about breakfast at the Chalet House of Omelets because it's really good and the portions are plentiful. There are hundreds of different combinations of omelets alone. The lunch menu with daily specials is perfect. Build your own burger. You won't go away hungry. Choice meats, quality ingredients, your orders served hot and quick. Their slogan is, "We treat people the way we want to be treated." Voted best in Humboldt by the Times Standard year after year after year. And public safety personnel receive a 10% discount. The Chalet House of Omelets at 5th and V Streets in Eureka.
This portion of the news sponsored in part by Sherry Heights Casino.
If you're in Willow Creek this weekend, prepare for something big. It's yet another Bigfoot Festival happening this Saturday at the Willow Creek Veterans Park and VFW Hall. Local Humboldt native James Bobo Fay from Animal Planet's Hunting Bigfoot will be there for a live taping of one of the show's episodes. Bobo says that there is nothing quite like squatching.
When you hear something you know couldn't be any other animal or person, I mean, when you get that realization, oh my God, some giant wild ape man out here just did that, it blows your mind and that gets you coming back.
Not only that, there will be a showing of a famous Bigfoot film, the footage captured right here in Humboldt County back in 1967, and is the most famous quote-unquote footage of the elusive beast. Bob Gimlin, who shot the video, will be in attendance with his original copy. For details, check out our website. In addition to all the other Bigfoot-related festivities, there will be a showing of the famous Patterson-Gimlin film. New tonight, Community Created Jefferson is this Thursday. It's the annual community-based planning session to help set the neighborhood and community center goals for the upcoming year. Any Westside residents interested in youth activities or teens, kids, parents, teachers, recreation leaders, coaches, everybody are encouraged to attend. There will be a play associate, a Spanish translator, and food. For more information, go over to our website. All right, the next story is unreal, but it's actually real. Nordstrom is offering these heavily distressed muddy jeans for $425 on its website. Nordstrom says the jeans, quote, embody rugged Americana workwear that's seen some hard-working action with a crackled, caked-on, muddy coating that shows you're not afraid to get down and dirty. Look at those. Would you buy those? The filthy fashion statement isn't actually new. The jeans have been for sale at Nordstrom as well as Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue for quite some time. But for some reason, the listing on Nordstrom's website caught the internet's attention today, and the inevitable Twitter firestorm ensued. The jeans are made by the fashion company PRPS. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23.
Hi, I'm John, the executive casino host here at the Heights. What the guests tell us is that they like the environment, hospitality at Sherry Heights, the friendly atmosphere, the employees, that family bond that we have with these people. When people come to Sherry Heights, they're not customers, they're guests. They're part of our family. It's just a fun place. It's a fun place to be.
Welcome to entertainment. Welcome to fun. Welcome to winning at Sherry Heights Casino.
I'm Amanda. Ask me about my Honda. I love this car. I think it's the perfect combination of style, grace, and attitude. When you go through something as traumatic as this, safety becomes extremely important. Nobody could believe that I had actually been in that car and escaped relatively unharmed. Because my first Honda saved my life, I'm going to be a Honda owner for the rest of mine.
To see Amanda's story and score an Accord of your own, visit your Northern California Honda dealer's Facebook page.
More Sleep World is now open in McKinleyville. Come in today to any of our locations in Eureka, Arcata, Fortuna, and now McKinleyville. Receive big savings during our April no tax sale. Queen size adjustable bases as low as $7.99, queen mattresses at $199, and twins at $129. More Sleep World now offers Serta Perfect Sleeper as well as the ultimate in luxury from Simmons, Beauty Rest Black. Only the best of the best for your good night's rest. Eureka, Arcata, Fortuna, and now McKinleyville. And remember, in April, you pay no sales tax.
This portion of the news sponsored in part by Redwood Capital Bank.
Hey, did you know it's World Penguin Day? But along with celebrating the tuxedoed waddling grounded bird, there's reason for concern. According to a new report, there are 12 million penguins in Antarctica, but scientists say that's not nearly enough. Two of the most common penguin populations are in decline, and a big reason is climate change. By contrast, penguin populations are increasing in parts of the continent that are not warming. The scientist behind the report says it's a wake-up call that penguins are, quote, literally canaries in the coal mine. For all your news and weather updates, check out our news app. Search North Coast News TV. It's available on both Android and Apple devices. ABC World News is next, and don't miss Kelly Som and Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger each morning on Daybreak for your latest news and weather, first thing in the morning. Karen and I will be back at 10 and 11. Thanks for being here tonight. Have a good night.